breaking, the Border Patrol's Bovino has been ousted from his role of commander at large, and Kirsten Noem and Corey Lewandowski could be next to lose their jobs. Sources tell Nick Miroff. This is probably a leak. Greg Bovino has been removed from his role as Border Patrol commander at large and will return to his former job in El Centro, California, where he is expected to retire soon, according to a DHS official and 2 people with knowledge of the change. Bovine's sudden demotion is the clearest sign yet that the Trump administration is reconsidering its most aggressive tactics after killing Saturday of 37-year-old Alex Preddy by Border Patrol agents under Bovino's command. It's not enough that he gets to peacefully retire, okay? It's not enough that he gets to peacefully retire. He must be punished. That manlet has to go to prison. Here's the denial of it. Tricia McLaughlin. Chief Gregory Bovino has not been relieved of his duties, as press sec stated from the White House podium. Commander operations at large, the key part of the president's team and a great American. It is pretty funny that they say he's the commander at large, because I don't think he is at large at all. He is not large, and he is certainly not in charge. They should be calling him commander at small. I think these guys deserve even worse than, I am at liberty to say out loud. But I can think it. It's not illegal to think it yet until Neuralink and Palantir do a collabo and figure out a way to, Neuralink our brains. Thought crimes are still not illegal. And I'm thinking it. Oh, I'm thinking it. If we get a socialist government after Trump, do you think there will be a massive Nuremberg-style trials where people are tried en masse? That's never been done in the U.S. before. I'm curious what it would look like. It has been done in the U.S. before. It's called the McCarthyist trials, and it wasn't done to criminals, but it was done to people who were kind individuals, nice individuals, people who were progressive-minded individuals, socialists and communists alike. I would like to do a McCarthyist trial, but for reactionary sentiment, yes. Nuremberger trials for the Burger Reich. R.I.P. Bozo. Pack watch the fucking Bovino.
I'll be here. I'm going to continue operating in your town. I'm sorry, the taxpayer's town, not your town. And that's what's going to happen.
I regret to hear that. I will say it once more.
To happen. You
are going on. Welcome here.
Check yourself.
Check yourself. Yeah, well, guess what? R.I.P. Bozo to Bovine the Bozo. President Trump on a phone call with Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. I just had a very good telephone conversation with Mayor Jacob Frey of Minneapolis. Lots of progress is being made. Tom Homan will be meeting with him tomorrow in order to continue the discussion. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. Is Homan any better? No, of course he's not any better. They're using Bovine as the fall guy here to dramatically scale back the operations, because the operations were not for any real purpose. Brother, Minnesota as a state doesn't have a super high density of undocumented migrants, okay? Like, even the people that they were targeting, I kept repeating over and over again, 95% of Somalis living on U.S. soil are American citizens. They're not even like immigrants, okay? They're American citizens, okay? 60%, 65% of them are natural born. They're second gen. It's so stupid. What kind of, immigrant proceedings, what kind of immigration laws are they violating? They're American citizens. You're so stupid. That's why I kept repeating over and over again. It had nothing to do with the actual immigration, anti-immigration activities or that jurisdiction at all.
Now back to the breaking news out of Minnesota. So multiple federal sources are telling Fox News that Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino and some of his agents are going to leave Minneapolis as soon as tomorrow. This is Tom Homan makes his way to the state. That was the president earlier today telling everybody that he was going to send Tom Homan there. Also, President Trump had a phone call today with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, calling on the governor to hand over all the criminal illegal aliens. But Walz claims his state honors all immigration detainers. Here's Caroline Levitt. She was in the briefing room earlier today.
This tragedy occurred as a result of a deliberate and hostile resistance by Democrat leaders in Minnesota. Governor Walz and Mayor Frey have shamefully blocked local and state police from cooperating with ICE, actively inhibiting efforts to arrest violent criminals. They have also used their platforms to encourage left-wing agitators to stalk, record, confront, and obstruct federal officers who were just trying to lawfully perform their duties. This is precisely what unfolded in Minneapolis on Saturday morning. Obstructing federal law enforcement and inciting violence against officers is wrong and illegal.
Just yesterday, Governor Walz compared immigration enforcement in Minnesota to the Holocaust.
We have got children in Minnesota hiding in their houses, afraid to go outside. Many of us grew up reading that story of Anne Frank. Somebody's going to write that children's story about Minnesota.
Okay, So a little hyperbole there. Tomorrow is actually Holocaust Remembrance Day, so who knows what he'll come up with by.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No, I can't stand it. I can't stand this. No, you can't be Fox News and be woke on this, okay? You can't be Fox News and behave like you're fake woke on this. You're actively defending the neo-Nazi administration doing Nazi shit. You can't turn around and be like, oh, wow, how disrespectful to the Jews. Like, come on, dude. It just pisses me off. Bin Laden should have aimed at Fox News headquarters. Why would he? They're like this, bro. Two peas in a pod. Bin Laden wishes he could destroy America half as good as Fox News does on a bad day. Are you kidding me? Remember, that's a consistent statement that I've maintained. It's like, if I hated America, if I was the biggest anti-American hater terrorist that these guys claim I am, I'd just be a Republican. Why would I be anything else? I would just be a Republican. I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, more tax cuts for the wealthy, please. Oh, white people are under attack. Let's go and do a domestic occupation on a blue city.
But Jesse, the president also put out a Truth Social statement saying that they had a good call and that they have some sort of way forward, hopefully, and maybe the Border Patrol leaving, if that happens to turn out to be the case, maybe that's one of the steps forward.
I'm very glad Walz called the White House, and they're both using the same word, which is cooperation, and that's all we've ever asked for. Hopefully we can just dial things back, we can get some cooperation.
Why?
And people...
Why? Things were going so well, I thought. Why, Jesse? Why is there need for cooperation now, Jesse? Things were going great.
People aren't needing to get hurt. He's not telling the truth, though, about the state. State corrections only cooperates after an illegal has been convicted and served their sentence. The city jails and the county jails do not cooperate, and they release dangerous illegal criminals into the streets, and that's why ICE is having to conduct these dangerous manhunts. But both sides need to change tactics. The governor of Minnesota is in open rebellion. He has called ICE agents Nazis. He's told the people to get in their face and to kick them out of the state. And now it's like a low-level insurgency. There's very sophisticated communication tactics. There's like food drops. There's supply chains. It's crazy. They have stormed into churches. They have broken into hotels. They've looted cars. They've lit fires. They've kicked. They've bit off fingers of federal immigration police. So it's out of control. And now they're aiding and abetting dangerous foreign nationals who are fugitives from justice. And what ICE needs to do in order to change tactics is stick and move. You're sitting ducks for 6 weeks and you have no backup from feds. And
Wait a minute. What? I'm so confused. Wait, what? I thought it was going well. I thought it was fine to just like dominate a blue city and kill a bunch of civilians in the process, kidnap random people, American citizens, migrants alike, on the basis of whether or not the most Hispanic ICE agent in any given moment has decided you are actually white enough or not. You know, because that's what the calculation is. Okay, you got a dude, a Hispanic dude, wearing the CBP banner, ICE banner, going up to random people and being like, "You have an accent. So do you. The f do you mean I have an accent? So do you, motherfucker. Arrest you! Arrest you! Arrest yourself!"
Do you have documentation?
I do have my documentation.
You present it to me,
Why
please.
are you asking me for my paperwork?
Because of your accent.
You have an accent too.
you have no backup from the locals. And you've announced to the entire country that you are in Minneapolis. You don't need to do that. You need to be more stealthy.
Yeah, no one's going to know. Hey, dude, you're such a moron. And I do think Jesse Waters is like unironically stupid, so he doesn't know better. The whole point of this was to do a show of force. It's called force projection. It wasn't to actually do immigrant apprehension. That had nothing to do with it. That's why they went to Minneapolis. You dingus. The whole point is not to be stealthy. It was literally, first of all, the notion of doing stealthy deportations is so crazy. It's like how are you going to do that? You're just going to have like 1,000 guys show up. 1,000 of the fattest guys show up all of a sudden in your backyard, driving around in Jeep Wagoneers, okay, with lights on them and then start kidnapping people. They would get shot, okay? They would unironically probably get shot. They'd be like, what the f We got a bunch of random unmarked cars and a bunch of dudes in like military gear not giving us their identification at all. Their mask, and they're going around. They're going around and kidnapping our neighbors. You would get domed in that situation. That's an easier way to get domed, in my opinion. But that's not the purpose anyway. Not only is it not feasible, but it's also not the purpose. The reason why the DHS was like, yeah, go get him, Tiger. 3,000 of the fattest Hitlerian Nazis are now going to be in your town. The reason why they posted that was because the purpose of this is not to actually deport anybody, really. The purpose of this is to bully, humiliate, and hurt Minneapolis. That was the point. So it kind of ruins the purpose of this operation if you're doing it stealthily, which you can't even do anyway.
Like a boxer does not stand in the middle of the ring with
terrorize.
his hands down and just gets hit and just gets hit. All right, even Tyson had head movement, okay? He had defense. He can hit hard, but you move away. That's what they need to start doing. The guy who brings a loaded firearm concealed into a dangerous fugitive operation is crazy. You do not bring a loaded gun and start violently and physically resisting and obstructing a manhunt, okay? Anybody who knows, you have a concealed permit, and some guy that is confronting you as federal enforcement, you say, here are my hands, I have a loaded weapon on me. And you wait for further instruction. You do not actively, physically resist. Now, you watch the video, and it's very, very chaotic. It may have looked like they might have disarmed this guy during the scuffle. You have whistles blowing, you can't hear anything. You hear gun, 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 gun. You know, the guy, anytime guy says gun, 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 and the subject pulls his arm back, you don't know if he's reaching. So obviously they're going to be doing a big investigation. They're going to find out what happened. We're going to look at the body cam. But it is not a clear-cut situation, and it's very divisive. It's partisan the way they're...
It's not. The only reason why this is partisan is because Republicans are stupid.